3 elections in 4 years, the last 2 of which I won after a lot of people were upset on the Democrat side of things, and we did it by making big, bold actions and got results because of that. I think in the end, I'd love to go against whether it's Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden. I'm a new, fresh face versus a name from the past. I'm someone from outside of Washington with a proven track record, and most of all, I've gotten things done in a blue state.
That was presidential candidate Governor Scott Walker earlier tonight in New Hampshire with remarks on how he plans to win the top billing on the Republican ticket. Experts say Walker will face tough questions on his state, Wisconsin, American unions, and women's issues as the race towards one Republican nominee heats up. My next guest is polling in second place when you average many of the country's national polls. And joining me now, someone we're sure will be on the debate stage on Thursday, Republican presidential candidate and Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Governor, good to see you tonight. So I don't want to make this all about Donald Trump, but I want to start with his poll number, since he is 3 to 1 over you in the Fox News poll. So he's killing you in that poll. You say you aim to stay above the fray, and the headlines about you in Wisconsin are "Don't expect him to be throwing punches." Do you plan on taking Trump on at this debate?
Well, I'm not going to take anybody. I'm going to talk about what I'm for. I think voters are tired of politicians who tell you what they're against and who they're against. They want to know what you're for. But I think part of the reason why those polls are that way is because people want a fighter. And right now they think Mr. Trump is a fighter. I think part of the reason why I'm polling in second is because people think I'm a fighter. I think in the end, what will make the difference and how we win the nomination is people realize they don't just want a fighter. They want someone who can fight and win. I'm the only one in this race who's shown consistently on the common sense conservative forums that I can win even in a blue state. I can clearly fight and win in America.
One thing people seem to like about Trump is, he's exciting. He's a celebrity. He knows how to work a crowd and to talk in a way that excites people. Are you exciting? Do you think the voters feel that way about you?
Well, I think, at least in the Midwest, people picked me 3 times in the last 4 years because I got things done. I think that's what's really exciting. I think the biggest sentiment out there right now is people are frustrated with Washington. They're particularly frustrated with Republicans in Washington. They feel like, hey, we elected a House, we just elected a Senate. They haven't repealed Obamacare. We've still got the Iran deal. We've got all these problems going on. Why aren't Republicans doing more? And so I get that sentiment out there. But I think that's where, in the end, over time, as we spend the time campaigning across America, they're going to say, yeah, we want a fighter. We want someone who stands up and takes on the big fight. But we also want to win that fight, both in the election and ultimately in terms of getting results. And I think that's where our track record raises to the top.
How much damage do you think this does, if any, to the Republican brand? I mean, Trump's criticized virtually every Republican running. Some other Republicans have refused to do that, saying, I'm going to follow the Reagan rule. To the extent that the candidates are slinging mud at each other, how much damage do you think it'll do to the eventual nominee?
In the end, this is such a great field. I think it just shows the enthusiasm that Republicans have across the board throughout this country. And as long as most of our attention is focused on how bad Hillary Clinton would be as a presidential candidate and how even worse she'd be as the President of the United States, I mean, think about this. Everywhere in the world that Hillary Clinton has touched is worse off today than it was before she and the president took office. That's what we need to focus in on. I think in light of these recent emails, I'd love to point out that she'd be a pretty good deceiver-in-chief, certainly not someone you can trust to be the commander-in-chief, and that's where I'm going to spend my time focusing on how bad Hillary Clinton would be.
What are you going to do for the next few days? What do you do to get ready? Do you get murder boarded? People sit around and fire questions at you. Do you have somebody playing me? Somebody playing Brett? Somebody playing Chris?
No, the next couple of days, you really just kind of relax. For the first time in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be back home. I'm going to see my beautiful wife, Tonette, my boys, Matt and Alex. And then Thursday morning, get this, I'm actually going to be at the kickoff of the Wisconsin State Fair. It's a tradition I've never missed. And then I'm going to hop on a plane and come and join you in Cleveland.
Relax is the plan. I would think twice about that if I were
relax.
you. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Governor, it's great to see you, and I'll see you Thursday
today.
night.
We went to a pizza joint up here in New Hampshire. We'll see you Thursday.
Nice. Well, on Thursday, I don't know, it'll be Skyline Chili out in Ohio. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much.
All the best, sir. Well, Ed Henry dug up some new details tonight about reports that Vice President Joe Biden may be considering a challenge against Hillary Clinton. All this as Mrs. Clinton takes a hit in the polls. Up next, Ed has the Clinton camp's response, and Judge Napolitano is here with some potentially big news about a court order issued to Mrs. Clinton and her top aides, and it is not good. The judge, not Napolitano, the judge in the case, is ticked. Plus, Breaking news in the manhunt for the ex-con accused of killing a police officer in cold blood, and what it means for the national debate over race and law enforcement.
As a community, we say so often, there's a theme that do Black Lives Matter? And at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, do all lives matter?